NNRG.
Well, that was some close votes today, but they came out on top for the Staff of Karnath, which that's been in the voting for a while, so let's see if it was worth the wait. We got a tape file here, so starting it up. Oh, we're instantly into the intro. Apparently it's a Hakuto Force intro. Power of the Seven Stars. And it's just sitting here. Pushing buttons doesn't do it. Oh, there it goes. It just sort of went on its own. I guess it was just doing some loading or something. So yeah, it just seems like a basic intro here with some scrolling words and everything. So might as well move on. So spacebar, spacebar. Okay, and then let's see. Info linker, space to read, run stop to skip. Space. Oh, okay, we got some documents here. Many millions of years ago, before man and his descendants, there lived a very different kind of creature. These creatures were known as Sarnathians? Sarnathians, originating from a long-dead planet and coming to Earth when their planet was on the verge of destruction. They were an evil race, feasting on the torture and destruction of other creatures opposed to their rule. Their aim was the domination of the universe through the use of a powerful orb of light, the very embodiment of evil, which was created from an unknown material when their planet was destroyed. This seems like... okay. With a name like the Staff of Karnath, I expected something more medieval fantasy. This sounds more space fantasy. But, let's keep going here. Over the thousands of years of their terrifying rule, the orb became too powerful even for them and eventually caused a tear in the interdimensional fabric of the realm. Interdimensional spelled wrong. In the interdimensional fabric of the realm of reality and realm of unreality. This tear caused the orb to lose all about a fraction of its power, but in doing so sent every living creature on the Earth into the alternate dimension of whoa. Okay, how long is this, that's a lot of story without any paragraph breaks. There were probably paragraph breaks in the actual manual. Anyways, game objective. Objective of the game is to find the 16 pieces of a key, which when connected form a shape of a pentacle. Each of these pieces is hidden throughout Karnath's castle, and each is protected by creatures conjured up by Karnath. There's a lot of text walls here. Okay, so from what I'm getting from this, it seems we have to form the pentacle from these various pieces, and then once we have that together, it'll tell us where to find the staff. But even once we find the staff, in order to destroy it, we have to use a very specific spell, otherwise we get destroyed instead. And apparently there's also an energy limit and a time limit. So I don't know how restrictive either of those are going to be, but I guess we're going to find out. Sir Arthur Pendragon can be fully controlled by using your joystick in port 2. Okay. Sir Arthur will shoot or use the spell under his control at that time by pressing the joystick fire button. And apparently the list of spells, we got 8 of them. We got Aeolus, Barakta, Forthrin, Ibrahim, Knossos, Menhir, Omphalos, Stoli, and Eurobus. I have no idea what any of those do, and apparently the documentation is not going to tell us. And it says you have to discover which spell needs to be used in each situation. So I'm guessing that certain spells just basically function differently or whatever. F7 to pause, F1 to restart, any other key to change magical spells. So literally any key on the keyboard will change spells. That's an interesting way of doing it. Okay, so let's get started here. And there we go. Staff of Karnath from Ultimate Play the Game. So I guess we just got a basic title screen here. Got a castle, got some music. How do we start? Pressing spacebar caused the music to start fading out. And then got a little icon in the corner. We haven't had any flashing with any of the loading with this one. It's unusual. And now we got our traders, so no infinite energy, no infinite time, and yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So, Staff of Karnath, press F7 to pause game, any other key. So, we've got a listing of the controls right here, so that's kind of handy if we didn't have the actual documents. So, let's get started. Oh, we're already... Okay. Apparently, there's some knights in armor who are following our position. Okay, that's interesting. You actually, when you go up and down, you go diagonally in line with the isometric view going on. Interesting. So, apparently we can fire spells. Okay, that's our Forthrin spell. And we change spells by pressing any key on the keyboard. Although it's not, okay, that's kind of annoying. The key to change spells, just because you're supposed to be able to change spells by pressing any key. Well, listen to me hitting spacebar and watching what actually happens on screen. Yeah, it's like sometimes it changes and sometimes it doesn't. But if I hold the spacebar down, it cycles through them. So it seems like what's going on is that it's just like a cycle timer, and pressing the spacebar or any other key on the keyboard just sort of advances that timer. So that's not really an ideal way of doing it, but at least I know what it's doing now. So it's not unresponsive just for sake of being unresponsive. You've actually got to hold it for a particular length of time in total to get it to scroll. So, annoying, but I can deal with it. So, like, if we use a different spell here... Interesting, so that didn't actually damage the guards there. And if we use another spell, again didn't damage them. Yeah, so it seems like every spell except for the Forthrin spell doesn't work on these guards. Yet, if I use it, they just sort of respawn. So if I want to actually go this way, because I don't really outrun them that well, I guess what I kind of have to do is just get in close, cast the spell a couple times, and then move through? Okay, so now we're in a different room. We got something up there. I'm not Whoa, what was that? Okay, apparently we can't get close to this thing. Do we use a Forthrin spell? No, so let's try a different spell. Until one of these works? Okay, literally none of my magic works on this thing. Can I at least go up the staircase? Okay, I can go up the and I'm already under attack by a spider. Holy jeez. Okay, well, that spider wasn't very nice. And for some reason, I'm not allowed to move any further that way? That's kind of odd. Anyways, we got a door at the back here, so... Okay, that's nice that if you actually go through a section like that, it says there's a door here, so we know we can go back that way. But yeah, it seems like we're at the absolute edge of this castle, so we can't go any further right. That looks like fire. I'm not sure if casting magic is going to do much to that, but let's just keep going up here. And I got a big skull in the way, so that's not conducive to survival. Okay, I've tried all of my magic and none of it affects the skull, so I guess maybe I just have to time this. Right now. I still took some damage going through there. And again, none of my magic works on that thing. I don't get it. Okay, well, I'm back in the spider room here, and we apparently got a witch in this room. And the witch is making a very annoying sound. But thankfully, we can... Well, we can get rid of the witch temporarily, but the witch instantly respawns. And we got 1 energy left, so... we're in trouble, unless we can get, like, an energy recharge of some sort. And there's something at the top of this bed here. But I got 1 energy left. The moment I cast a spell, yeah, I'm done. Okay, so I'm guessing you gotta be a little more careful with your spell usage. So there's probably, like, certain kinds of items we can get that'll assist in making it through certain parts of the game. I thought I saw... Oh, there's some kind of thing leaping around in here. So let's get out of the way of it. Yeah, because I think I can grab this without, Yeah, there we go. We got one of the pentacle pieces. So it's 1 down, 15 to go. Okay, that's a... Oh, I was about to say, that's unusual for there to be a pentacle piece in a room that's empty, but no, there was something in here. So is it going to show up again? Yep. And my magic doesn't really get rid of it. Wait, why can't I pick this one up? Oh, maybe you're only allowed to carry one piece at a time. Although we found this room again with the bed and the thing at the top. Let's see if we can actually get up here. So that's not the spell to do it with. Let's try some other spells here. None of the other spells did anything. So how do we get this to move then? Yeah, that's the thing I'm not getting here is that we've got all these different spells, but the game really doesn't tell you what they're all supposed to do or how you're supposed to use them. But at the same time, it seems like this game world that we're exploring isn't actually all that big. At least not from what I'm seeing so far. So let's go through this door here. Oh, we're in a room with a ghost now. So the ghost seems to be protecting this sort of area over here. Let's try to make it past it. Oh, it still damaged me anyways. Okay, that was a bad idea. Okay, there's something about this door right here. Makes me think there's something important about that room there. So I'm gonna go fetch the pentacle piece that's in here. I gotta get around this thing up here. The 3D-ness of the world doesn't seem to completely apply perfectly. So some enemies, the 3D seems to work as intended, but some enemies it just gets you no matter where you are. Okay, so let's go through this door here. And whoa, this is a totally different part of the castle now. It's like different colors, and you got a big guy blocking a pentacle piece up there. You got a face. Got another skull thing. Got some prison doors. You got this big white skull protecting that door. Let's see if we can go in here. Okay, and now we got a room with... Holy jeez, what? Or wait, did that heal me or damage me? Nope, that's damage. That is definitely damage. Just very slow damage. So if we... Yeah, this room seems very, very hostile. Okay, so I gotta be careful to not get hit by this arrow here. Seems to be on an interesting timer. So it's like it fires twice? Or no, that time it only fired once. I don't like this room because there doesn't seem to be a good way to... Especially because of that bird. If the bird wasn't around, the getting around this room would be doable. But that bird just makes it way more complicated than it needs to be. Okay, one of the big problems I'm running into as well is that the enemies constantly respawn. And it's not like a short respawn. It's not like a long respawn, like you kill an enemy, you get a few moments respite. No. Here, you kill an enemy, it respawns like super quickly, like the instant it's gone. Also, we got some kind of big obelisk with text on it that isn't legible. Not sure what that's about. Like, can we cast one of our spells at it? Oh! Right, the Barakta spell is the one for depositing the pentacles. So this is where we have to deposit them. We have to deposit them at this obelisk, and that recharged our energy. That's really good to know. So depositing a pentacle gets you your energy back. I was about to say, like, I wasn't finding, like, any good way to refill energy. And I'm like, well, how are you supposed to do that? Well, that's how. You deposit a pentacle piece. Here's the problem. Now we gotta get all the way back through this nonsense. And by the way, one other thing I noticed is that enemies that are dying can still hurt you. So, that's not cool. Yeah, like I lost 10% of my energy just trying to get back out of this room. Oh, scratch that, 20% because of that stupid skull that just comes right down on you. Nope, all of my magic does not open that cell door whatsoever. So, probably not supposed to go inside them. I would get another pentacle piece right there, but I kind of feel like I want to explore a bit more, just to see more of what's in the game, as opposed to just trying to beat it, because I don't think I'm going to be able to beat it in this sitting here, because there's 16 pieces to find, and clearly you need to know exactly how all of the magic works to survive this. Also, it doesn't help that the screen only scrolls at like the really close to the edges there, so it's like trying to get the screen to scroll to see what you're up against can be pretty tricky. Okay, well, coming back here was a mistake because there's nothing back here. Like, I'm getting the impression that there's a lot that I'm missing because I don't know what these spells do, but at the same time, I'm kind of not sure where to even try using some of them. Okay, well, there's a door back here in the witch room. Let's see if this goes anywhere. Well, this did go somewhere, but unfortunately, I kind of died, like, almost immediately after getting in there because of that wizard or whatever. Jeez, this game is tricky. Okay, so let's get back to the balcony over here. And then there's going to be that thing, which... Okay, I can actually defeat it with that spell, but only temporarily. It just sort of makes it disappear for a moment. Now, are we going to have a problem with these Whoa, yep, we are. We are very much going to have a problem with this armor up here. No, like, that's the thing, is that you have all of these spells, and yet to really understand if any of them are going to do something, you have to go through all of them. And that's 8% of your energy you're spending just on the chance that something might happen, and that what happens may just simply be a temporary stun of an enemy. Okay, so in this case we got this bat flying around the room. But there's also clearly something on the table. But I can't seem to, like, pick it up. The manual specifically said that to pick something up, you just have to touch it. And yeah, none of my spells do anything on this plant, so... That's 8% of my energy gone, just trying to figure out how to deal with that plant. Okay, we got a disco bar gate. I'm not stepping through that. That looks like instant death. Or something akin to it. Yeah, see, I just got hit by the bat there, even though the bat was clearly nowhere near the same 3D plane I was on. So it's like some enemies obey the logic of the three-dimensional position of where you are in the room, but some enemies don't. You know, the other thing I find curious is that 6 p.m. thing in the corner there, because I got a funny feeling that you're never going to hit that time, whatever the time limit is, like, because that 6 p.m. thing does not move quickly, but you move around fairly fast-paced, and this does not seem like a very large level that you're trying to get through. So I've got a hunch that once you know how to play through the game, that's the moment when you're actually going to survive and actually see more of what's going on. But until that point in time, you're just sort of blindly going around trying to figure out how to survive each situation, like what spells you're going to need and everything. Like, I mean, in here, we got a couple bats flying around. I'm gonna cast a spell. Like, that gets rid of the bat temporarily, but then it comes right back. And we also got, like, a pot up here, which I can't do anything with. So, like, I don't get it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here. This is the Staff of Karnath. It's interesting as a game, for sure. It has a lot of elements to it, but it's asking you to take a lot of trial and error in order to figure out what you're supposed to do based on different spells that the game doesn't elaborate on, save for telling you that one specific spell for depositing pentacle pieces, and then just leaving it up to you to figure out the rest. Like, that doesn't necessarily make the game bad, but it means there's going to be a lot of frustration and a lot of trial and error just to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. And then once you know what you're supposed to be doing, the game's going to be a cakewalk. So, you know, the funny thing is from seeing some of the C64 games we've come through so far, given that we're 46 weeks into this now, and given that I have seen other Commodore 64 games being played by other people before, that it almost seems like it's par for the course. A game which is stupidly hard until you know what to do, and then becomes incredibly easy. So, in that effect, that's what the Staff of Karnath is. It's one of the bog standard games on the Commodore 64.